This program is proudly brought to you by Bianco Building Supplies, helping to build South Australian football.
Here we go. All right. Woo.
Good evening everyone, I'm Nat Adamopoulos and this is Full On Football, the only local TV show that promotes local South Australian football. Well, it's the first week of winter, but I'll tell you what, things are hotting up pretty much around everywhere in Australia and locally. We've had the Socceroos progressing really well. We've had the Matildas getting into the quarterfinals of the Asian Cup, and we're looking forward to see what they can do there. And here in our own backyard, things are hotting up very smartly. Now, of course, we're going to look at all the games and results and fixtures of all three leagues. And we were out at 2 different games this week, so we've got double the lot of footage for you to enjoy tonight. But right now, it's time to meet our panel, and for tonight, yet again, we've got community radio coming in to meet community TV, and how fantastic is that? With us from Sportscat, the panel, which is on 88.7 Coast FM every Thursday night from 6 till 8, we have... from my left, Aggie SIMEONE. In the middle there is Fiona SORENSEN, and on the end is Peter CLEMENTE. Welcome to Full On Football, guys.
Thank
Nat.
you.
Thank you, Nat. It's always a pleasure to be here, and what a beautiful combination. I mean, you got community radio with community TV.
It's fantastic.
Wonderful partnership.
We're all doing our bit to promote the football here in South Australia. Now, Aggie, look, lots of people would know you, of course. You're larger than life, I call, and I say that in a sweet way. You've been on our show before, of course, affiliated with the Azuri or Adelaide Blue Eagles as a player and involved with them as well. Very, very exciting year this year. They're having their 50th anniversary. Look,
there's no question, and it is a great year. I mean, any club that's going through what they're going through at the moment, 50 years in existence, and hopefully they can really do it on the field, because it would be a wonderful celebration. And let's face it, Raiders did it in their 50th year, so Adelaide Blue Eagles may do the same. Well, they're sitting pretty good at the moment, so let's hope they continue on with that.
And Fiona, first timer here on Full On Football, but you know, unlike Sam Newman, I actually love seeing women involved in football, and you're involved in the game in many ways, not only with Sportscat but with junior coaching. I know you're involved with Aberfoyle Park Primary School, and also your son's at Burkalla.
That's right. I've got a son at Burkalla. I'm team managing out there. I've got another son at Cumberland, and yeah, I've coached for many years junior soccer. Grew from absolutely nothing in the game to I've done my referees course, I've done my coaching course, and I've grown to just love it.
Oh, fantastic. It was great to see you involved and great to have you here as well. And Peter, also another first timer at Full On Football on set, because you have been off set with us before.
Yes, a couple of times. Yes.
But look, Sportscat, every Thursday night, 6 till 8 on 88.7 Coast FM. How many years has it been going? Because you've been involved basically from day dot, haven't you?
Yeah, we started 8 years ago. Just
we
had our 8th anniversary last month. But just to pick on the Azuri bit, in Azuri, when I was a young'un, I used to go and watch Azuri. They were only across the road from me, and I can actually say that I was probably the only one that actually brought out a banner onto the ground and the players had to run through, and that was a fantastic
You little champion!
Oh yeah, we were. It was great.
How fantastic! So that is terrific. Look, Aggie, just before we get into everything, your review of the season so far.
So far, you have to say that the teams that you expected to be there are definitely there. There's no real dark horse at the moment, even though if you do look at the league table, and we'll talk more about that, is realistically probably Croydon is the only team that really hasn't got an opportunity, unless they basically have a dream run, and that's highly unlikely. But the rest has been quite exciting. I think it's great to see that the finals are back. The only disappointing part, as we all know, is doesn't matter if you win the grand final, doesn't mean you necessarily get promoted. But maybe they'll adjust that in the years to come.
Yeah, I hope so, because that's what people look forward to, actually. So now, Fiona, what's been the highlight for you this season so far?
Well, I have to say, when Michael Trillo left Adelaide Galaxy, being a big Colour girl, when he left, that wasn't the highlight.
Hello, Michael.
The highlight has been how well they've actually performed, because quite honestly they lost a lot of players because Michael's a great coach. Players follow him. When Carl Maynard came in, no one really knew quite what was going to happen, and they have, I think, really performed way outside of what anyone expected. Even the 2-1 result against the league ladders Metro Stars last week, I think they're doing great things down there.
And doing that down to 9 men, mind you, too. So that's
it's a good
fantastic.
effort.
Yeah, pretty good effort. And Peter, your thoughts on the FSA bringing the top 5 final back in the series?
I think the final's excellent, especially for the Australian environment. It's brilliant. I also want to comment on Adelaide City and the Monday night football. I think it's great for football itself, and what Metro Stars are doing with letting people in for free. I think you have to be very innovative in this game and in this state. To bring the crowd and to make sure that football goes ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We've got to bring the people back to the game, and I think that's fantastic. As you said, fantastic to have them do that. Okay, this is the Super League segment, guys, and of course we look at all the results and tables and fixtures, so let's do that. Let's have a look at the results for round 10 of the Super League, and of course some really quite amazing results in here. We had Croydon's Kings and Raiders, bottom of the table dwellers there, coming out in a 1-1 draw with... Look at the names that scored the goals. Michael Brooks and Aaron Vesterveld have been unbelievable, absolute champions, and a great game there. White City defeated Modbury Jets 2-0 with Djokovic and Aaron Batts scoring the goals there. Metro Stars 2, Adelaide Galaxy 1, as we were talking about. Tunbridge again scoring, Matriciani again scoring, which have been very vital and valuable players for them. And Greg Hadgius scoring for Adelaide Galaxy. And like we said, Adelaide Galaxy coming back 2-1 with 9 men only, so a good effort there. Adelaide Blue Eagles and Campbelltown a 0-0 draw, very hard fought match, so I guess in the end that was a fair result. And Para Hills Knights 0, Adelaide City only the 1 goal, and again that name again, Damien Murray, absolute X-Factor, absolute champion.
Yeah. He's been amazing for Adelaide, hasn't he?
He has
just taken it all before him. Week in, week out, he's kicking goals. Who wrote him off? Oh,
look, I specifically sit there and I watch how he plays and how he reads the ball and reads the play and what he's doing and where he puts himself, the places he puts himself to nab these goals is absolutely brilliant. Now, guys, as I mentioned, and we can talk over the top of this footage, we went out to the White City Warriors and Modbury game at Frank Mitchell Park. Let's have a look at some of the highlights. I mean this really respectfully. I think rather than White City winning, this match was the one that Modbury lost. They had, right from the start, they had a lot of possession. Early on, Chris Dean was very menacing in front of goal, but he couldn't convert. Midway through the first half, White City worked smartly, got good passages of play to get the ball up, and then they were rewarding with a cracking volley from Djokovic, which came against the run of play from a Nathan Day rebound header, which put them in front. Then we had in the second half, Duan Gray moved Nathan Day up front and brought David Crowell back into the back line, which was great. But look, an early goal from White City's Robbie McDonald, put that to bed, and they were already 2-0 up. So, doing well again. That was the goal there from Djokovic. And unfortunately, Modbury were playing the long ball game all day, and White City had it covered in the back. The back line were covering it, and so was the keeper, Brinius.
Now, when you've got a strong defence, you can't play a long ball game. You've got to do a short passing game, work the ball forward to actually put it in the net.
Now, I'm just wondering whether White City really knew in the back of their minds they had to win this game. They got Galaxy and Adelaide City coming up in the next 2 weeks, and they really need to cement their place. So they're thinking, Adelaide City, what are we going to do with this crowd? And Galaxy, well, they really thought, well, we've got to cement our place up in the top echelon. So they really thought to themselves, we've got to get this game and forget it.
Oh, definitely. I totally agree with you there. Look, as I said, it was Modbury had a lot of the ball, but they just weren't able to do anything with it. And as you said, the long ball game doesn't work. If you're able to have a Murray up front that can get onto it, it's fine. But otherwise, you can't do that. And this was their downfall. I mean, White City had many more shots at goal as well, which, they missed out on, as we just saw a shot there from the Batsis again.
Yeah, the keepers have had a huge workout.
Yeah, and Chander was fantastic for White City, and so was Keane. So they worked really hard in the midfield. and you know, got this ball up all the time, every time, giving them chances. But you know, unfortunately, was Modbury could have done a lot better with what they had with the ball, Aggie.
Yeah, it is a bit disappointing because Modbury had a good start, but unfortunately they've gone into a little bit of a hole, and I just don't think they are putting the ball in the back of the net. Whether Nathan Day, I know he's playing in all sorts of positions, but when I look at White City Warriors, they certainly have a lot of depth there, and you know, with the changing of the coach early in the year, Adrian Santrac certainly is doing a great job.
Okay, now we spoke to Andrew Leane and Duan Gray after the match, and this is what they had to say about the game.